be honest with yourself. I want you to be honest with yourself. Have you already pretty much not hit any of your goals that you set for yourself in 2024? Let's just be very, very, very honest, okay? So okay, first of all, I'm trying to, thank you guys so much for being patient with me. I'm like always figuring out my camera situation. Okay. And my hair and just always getting adjusted. This is a reality, right? Not everything's always beautifully curated. So I went to a really beautiful event this weekend. I went to the Black Business Association luncheon with these specifically for women, saluting Black women. And I was in a room full of CEOs, founders, presidents. I was with, Mayor Karen Bass was there, gave a beautiful speech. I got to meet her. And what I just was sitting back and being an observer. Like there's a room full of these amazing women that were all 50 and up, right? Most of them were 50 and up, very, very accomplished women over a very long period of time. And so I just was really observing and really listening to the conversations and listening to, not listening in like, how do I explain this? Like I was feeling what they were saying. I was really feeling what they were saying. I was really leaning into what they were saying. And not just like here's 10 tips, or here's what I've done, or here's, the impact that I wanted to make. It's like really feeling into their stories and really like almost like their stories. Like when I was listening to these speeches and these stories, I was feeling the texture of the story by listening. If you can even wrap your mind around that, because I was like, I really want to understand, like, what is the similarity between all of these women who are millionaires, again, presidents, founders. There's Mayor Karen Bass of Los Angeles, is there. And what are they doing? What have they done in their life that others don't do, or others don't feel like they can do, or others don't feel like they have the ability to do, or it's like it's just not even in their scope of thinking. And one of the things was passion. I could really tell when I was in amongst these women how genuinely passionate they were. And it was almost like they had tapped into a level of their life purpose that they believed that they could. Like, not like they're special and that no one else will be able to, like, there's only a special group of people and all these group of people happen to be in the same room. It was like everybody has this ability to tap into their level of passion or their level of purpose, but you have to first believe that you can. And what I noticed was just like they found their why and why they wanted to be a part of, some whatever industry that they had chosen to be in. Some were in the transportation industry, some were in the women empowerment industry, with the Black USA pageant. Some were in, of course, Mayor Karen Bass was there. So there's just a different array of industries. But the consistency that I saw when I was really feeling into their stories and really feeling the texture, like let me see if I can really grab on to what they're talking about and really digest it, was their why. It was belief that they could do it. And it just seems like these women didn't let anything stop them. Like a no was a go harder. Like in their brain, if they heard the word no, it didn't register as, oh, I can't do this, and they retreated. It's like it registered in their head as, oh, well, no, not this route, but so I'm going to take this route. Or no, not right now, but it will happen. Or no, it's not going to happen through this door or this person, but it's going to happen eventually through this person. So I think that that was like one of the biggest takeaways that I discovered when I was a podcast interview or for these women, and hopefully I'll be able to show you guys some of the footage from that. It was really, really cool, really, really amazing opportunity. And what I want to bring to you today is there's nothing you literally can't do. And when you hear the no's in life, like when we think of like the uber successful, uber talented people, all of those people have been told no at some point or another, or probably still are told no, but we don't see that behind the scenes. You know, when I was interviewing these women and I was really listening to their stories, you know, just the stuff that they overcame and moments that they surpassed, and just that they were moving through life coming from something deeper. It wasn't just, oh, I want to move up in the company, or oh, I want to have a certain title in the community. It was like, there's something else driving me. Like, this is my mission in life, and nothing's going to get in the way of my mission. And I'm like, how can we implement that mindset into our life when it comes to our health, when it comes to our spirituality, when it comes to, you know, starting a business, when it comes to overcoming an obstacle, when it comes to parenting, when it comes to mentoring, when it comes to building, like, how can we implement that like driving where we're pulling from somewhere deeper and letting that be the guiding light in our life. And so if you're struggling with not being able to eat healthy, if you're struggling with your workouts, if you're struggling with not being able to start a business, what it is you can do it. You will do it, and you are doing it. You're just uncovering different routes that aren't working at the moment. So that was the biggest takeaway. I mean, these women were in their late 60s, 70s. I mean, that kind of wisdom is just pure diamonds and gold. Like, you can't get any better than that. Like, there's no course that you can take. There's no book that you can read. I mean, maybe a book, because, you know, you're hearing their story and the way that and their experiences and how, you know, how it unfolded. But like, being with these women in person and really feeling, like I said, like, not just listening, but I was feeling the texture of what they were saying. If that can even, again, make sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but I was like, wow, these women really discovered that internal thing that I think we're all, you know, in our late teens, 20s, 30s, that we're like always like striving to find. And maybe they didn't even discover it until their 50s, but they kept going. That's the biggest thing I think our time right now is lacking, is we think that we're supposed to like take a course and have it figured out, or book a mentor, have it figured out, or, you know, get a fitness trainer, have it figured out. And it just doesn't work like that. You are every day is a success because you kept going. And all of a sudden, when you just keep showing up for yourself, 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line, you look backwards, you're like, oh my gosh, I accomplished that. I did that. I knocked that out. I did that. But it didn't seem like they were doing it for that. It wasn't like they were doing things to achieve something. It was like they just kept going and doing their daily mission. And then the daily mission ended up becoming this huge thing that they didn't realize that they were making. Almost like maybe they did realize it, but that wasn't their main driving purpose. And so what I want to say is, like, even as someone that's on my journey, my hair's like doing something weird, even someone that's on my journey with, you know, building my business and building my brand and understanding what that even means, and being super lost weekly with certain things. Like, I barely was able to just get an email list. Oh, by the way, sign up for my email list. It's in my community tab. Let me actually put it in the chat right now. I want to be able to connect with you guys. And this is the biggest reason. And I'm just going to be straight up honest with you guys, like, no fluff, purely honest. It's not to necessarily sell you guys stuff. I was really woken up because at first I was like, you know, if people want to get things from me, like something that I'm promoting, whether it's like, you know, the RYZE mushroom coffee that I'm always talking about in my link down below, or my protein powder that I take in the link down, like, they'll get those things if they want them, if it's something that they need. I don't really necessarily want to have an email list just to sell people things. So it wasn't really a priority to me because of that. I was like, if people want the stuff that I talk about, they can just click the link in my description. But then the TikTok ban might happen. And it just kind of woke me up. I was like, okay, I need to check in. So even that, like, I'm on my journey of really discovering how to become a very smart businesswoman and running a business in a way that's safe and providing, just a lifestyle and transformative mindsets and methods for you guys. Like, that's what I love doing. And it is important for me to be able to connect with you guys directly. Like, we don't know what's going to happen with these platforms like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I have a feeling YouTube, I feel like ain't going nowhere. That's just, I just have a feeling. But technically, we don't know that. And one thing that has stood the test of time is email. Like, email existed, maybe the internet, like you needed to have email. You needed to have internet in order to have email, but email has been around since I was a child, before like the internet is what it is now. So it's just smart. So definitely make sure to sign up with my email list. I'm not going to bombard you guys with a bunch of stuff. I might send out motivational things, or if I have a live video, like I know a lot of times people are like, oh man, I missed you on live. I'll, if I have time, I'll send out an email and say, hey guys, I'm going to go live today. And we don't have to just rely on the algorithm to let you guys know, because, again, for whatever reason, if my thumbnail doesn't look up to par, or, however the algorithm is going to pick it up, sometimes my stuff might not get pushed, but you really genuinely like connecting with me. So make sure to sign up with my email list. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. And I'm doing it right now. I'm going to pin it right now. And then I'm also going to put it in all my descriptions from now on as well. And so you'll always be able to tap in with me. Let me see. Okay, so am I able to pin this myself? Sometimes okay. Let me see the live chat. Can I pin it? Let me see if I can do it from this end. Okay, yes. Okay, so it's pinned. Okay, so make sure to tap in with me. It's pinned now in the comments, or in the chat. And again, it's just a way to stay connected with me no matter what happens to any of the platforms. You'll always forever to be like, oh yeah, that's how I tap in with Ciana, is through, this link. You guys can also email me, there is, once you sign up, once I email you, then you'll be able to always email me too. If you have a personal question, a circumstance that you would like me to do a video on, because what I want to start doing is, because a lot of times what you guys want to, maybe you do because you might have your own platform, but what most people don't see is that a lot of people have the same exact issue, the same exact concern, the same exact struggle. So when I do, like, if you hit me up and you have a problem and you want me to do a live video on it, of course, everybody's going to be completely anonymous, but it will help so many people, because it's like, oh, wow, I'm going through that too. That person wrote in about that. That's the exact problem I'm having, which is shocking to me, because in life, it kind of feels like we're always kind of alone, but we're not, is what I'm learning from having my own platform. Because I've always been a part of lives and looking at people's platforms for a long time now. Tapping in with Ralph Smart, tapping in with Rebecca Lynn Pope, tapping in with the Universe Guru, tapping in with Myron Golden, tapping in with just all these amazing, like, some of my favorite channels. But like, now that I have my own and I'm consistent with it, I'm like, oh my gosh, so many people are going through the same thing. And it's not cool that we're going through the same thing, but it's cool to know we're not alone. So, email me. So yeah, definitely make sure to, I don't know if it's on my end, I can see it up here, but definitely make sure to, either down here or up here, make sure to sign up with my email list. And I am also giving away these headsets that I'm always talking about. I'm giving them away for free. You don't have to worry about shipping. I am picking somebody at random, and I'm going to give them away in black, in a color black. if you are in the United States. So if you're in the US, tap in. I'll be able to send you, these are my favorite. I use these every single day, and they just go on your ear. Okay. They don't go inside of your ears. That's why I love these. So definitely, you know, when you sign up with my email list, you automatically get entered into the drawing, and I'm going to be announcing the winner. The last day is March 31st, and I'll be announcing the winner April 1st. And it won't be a April Fool's joke. You'll really win on April 1st. I'm like, great. Of course, the first time I do something like this, I'm going to be announcing the winner on April Fool's. Like, of course, that's just like my life. That's how it goes. So anyway, so yeah, so at the end of the day, I wanted to just get on here and let you know that being in a room full of powerful, magnificent, extraordinary women, and then all of them together in one room, I just was like, what can I really take away from this moment that I can share with my channel, with my embodypursuit squad, to help us all level up and actually implement some of the energy and methods that these women are doing. And at the end of the day, if I were just to have you walk away with one, it's that just don't stop. You got to keep going. You got to keep trying. And really, when you're trying, it's not really trying. It's like you're just doing it. And if it doesn't work for that day or for that week, it just means that there's a different route. It's never a no. That's what I took away from it. It's never a no. It's just a reroute. It's just a redirection. It's a course correction. That's all it is. So if you're feeling defeated, if you're feeling, you know, and again, in health, fitness, mindfulness, like if you're feeling like you can't get it together with eating, and a quick segue on that really quickly is I was listening to a Dr. Bobby Price podcast this morning. I love that I discovered him. I've been watching his content for about a year now. I love his stuff. I wish I knew about him before I made my How to Lose Belly Fat ebook guide, because I would have totally referenced him. A lot of the stuff that he says is in my ebook guide. If you want to check that out, it's also down below. I was like, oh my gosh, he is the perfect marriage between science and then holistic, because he is a licensed doctor, a licensed pharmacist. Okay. And when I was listening to the podcast, I'm really realizing that a lot of the stuff that we think we have problems in, it has a lot to do with the way that we eat. Like, if you don't have energy to start a business, go back to how you're eating. If you have problems, you're always irritable, you're just struggling at work, you're struggling with anxiety, look at what you're eating. If you're struggling with sleep, look at what you're eating. We are what we eat. And when you start to look at it from that standpoint, like, this is something I always am talking about too. I really feel like, and this is specifically for my Black people, and if you're Punjab, I can only speak from, you know, being a Black and Punjabi person. Specifically for my Black individuals, and surprisingly, this is a commonality, which you would never realize that this was a commonality between Black people and Punjabi people, but this is my reality, is the eating. The eating of carbs, the eating of starches, the eating of fried food. Even though Punjabi people, specifically in the Sikhism community, we don't eat meat, but fried, starches, oils, right? All of those things are contributing to hypertension, blood pressure issues, high blood pressure, diabetes. I've seen it in the Indian community and in the Black community. Specifically, what I want to say with the Black community is the way that our Black community has eaten for 400 years was not by choice. I want to really emphasize that. Our time period where we were eating the leftover from pigs and making it taste really good, the leftover from chicken, making it taste really good, the leftover from steaks, we had to do what we had to do to obviously survive, right? I honor my ancestors who had to literally do what they had to do for me to be able to sit here on a sunny day with the internet, feeling safe, not having a master over myself saying, get out in the field and start picking cotton today. Because of them and they survived. They could have said, I'm done. They could have exited themselves. If you guys know what I'm saying, the word that starts with the S. They could have exited themselves. They could have gave up. They could have not done, certain remedies to keep them just surviving. They could have chosen, like, all kind of crazy stuff could have happened. But me and you are able to be here right now. Whether you're watching this on the replay or you're watching this with me right now, me and you are the descendants of the strongest human beings that were able to make it. Same with my Punjabi side. There was a whole genocide that happened with Punjabi people that, not a lot of people in America know about. And I'm still learning about that. But even like my ancestors on both sides, I'm like, they survived. So like, I actually am a product of the survival of the fittest. So are you. Doesn't matter what background you are. There's ancestors that died on the Oregon trails. There's, migrating across oceans. And I mean, all that, we don't have to deal with none of that. We get to hop in a plane. If you find a good deal, hop in a plane for $100 and like go across the globe. Like, it's crazy. So if you're really struggling, I just want you to know that, like, you just have to keep going and you have to keep figuring out the best method for you in your business, with your health, with your fitness. And I do want to encourage you to really dive deep into your eating. What are you putting into your body? The meat, that's not my job to tell people not to eat meat or not eat meat. But the most thing I can encourage you to do is find a healthier meat. In order for these businesses to have a business, they need to have product on the shelves as long as they can. That is at the expense of our health. So the hormones that are sprayed, the preservatives, those things, like, this is a light bulb that went off for me, which I was like, I didn't even know this or realize this. Back in the 1940s, 30s, 1920s, a lot of families did not have refrigerators. It was a luxury. A lot of families actually went to a butcher. Like, we don't have to do that now. We can just pop over to Ralph's or pop over to Bond's or pop over to Whole Foods and like get some meat in a package and be on with our day. It's real quick. But almost 100 years ago, that wasn't the case. They were having to go to a butcher, so the meat was more fresh, right? They were, just had maybe killed the animal, a day or so prior. I don't really know the whole process, but it was more direct, right? Like, flesh is technically supposed to decay very quickly. When flesh is not alive anymore, but it's not decaying for 2 months, that should be that should just be common sense. Like, and this is not to offend anybody, but it really should be common sense. Like, why am I able to have meat sitting in the refrigerator for 2 weeks and it just looks nice and pink still? So they are doing things like spraying it with dyes and things like that. So just at the end of the day, go to a fresh butcher, go the extra mile and find a local butcher, find a mom and pop butcher, find, even if you have to spend $15 extra or drive a little further, like, it's worth it for your body, for your health. Parasites. Like, when Dr. Bobby Price was talking about parasites, I wanted to throw up. I was just like, I don't think we're really realizing, because this was a really good call out, which I was like, whoa. Because a lot of Africans will eat meat that they freshly, kill the cow in Africa and then go upstairs and cook it, right? But then Dr. Bobby Price was the parasites. So like, there's still even bigger issues there, right? Like, getting diseases from parasites. So it's getting crazy with like the food and the eating and the level of anxiety that people are having. Most of us don't realize that it's the hormones. Even when it comes to the plants, like, there's hormones, there's chemicals being sprayed on some of the plants. So he said that when you are in a grocery store, to make sure to look at the label, and if it has a 9 in it, like if it starts with a 9, then more than likely it was supposed to not be sprayed with a certain type of chemical. If it has a 3 or 4 on it, then it's not organic. So, just like those little things can go, it's just that extra mile and going along, that will take you a further in life, right? People are having issues with gut issues, inflammation. I just don't, and I was talking to my mom about this. I was like, I don't remember grandma ever saying like, I'm bloated. Like, I just don't ever remember her saying, I'm inflamed. Like, and so my grandma did not have a good diet. Don't get it twisted. She did not have a good diet, but the food was different. You know, like, so even though her diet wasn't really the best, the types of meat she was eating wasn't pumped up with, ooh, this is really cool. Look at this really quick, guys. Hold on. This is why I like coming over here. This area, they have people there's a horse trail. So it's, you can walk on the trail, but people can also ride their horses. And I just think that is so cool. And I live in LA County, guys, and you would not know that this was LA County. Let me see if I could zoom in. I know they're probably looking at me like, who is that creepy girl? That's so cool. Oh, wow. So yeah, guys. So bottom line is, my phone's overheating, so I'm going to have to go very soon. But at the end of the day, oh, shoot, sorry, guys. At the end of the day, I really want you all, if you keep going, you are successful. Okay? Don't give up on, is my volume down? Don't give up on your, sorry guys, I kind of like knocked picked up the phone. It kind of, why is my, oh man. I hope you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me. I hope you guys can hear me. Just someone give me a thumbs up and let me know if you guys can hear me. That would be amazing if you guys, and also make sure if you're here, like the video, like the video, like the video. It really, truly, truly, truly helps me get my videos out to the people that need to hear it. But what I want to leave you guys with is, don't stop, keep going. Pull from something deeper on those days where you feel weaker, you feel unmotivated, you feel like defeated. You got to pull from something deeper. Okay? And it's it's like, okay, well, how does that fit in with the food? Thank you. Okay, you can hear me. So how does that fit in with the food? You are what you eat. I'll just keep it simple. You are what you eat. So if you're eating starch, if you're eating canola oil, if you're eating, meat that's been at the grocery store for over a month and they're able to put it on sale and sell it, it's like, it is, we got to start really thinking. We got to really start digging in, and that's why I love YouTube and podcasts, because you really get to dive deep. It's not just like these quick little nanobites of information. It's like, well, why are we doing this? Why is this happening? Why should we, look at the number 9 instead of the number 3 and 4 on a tag? Like, why are they leaving it on the shelf? Why are people suffering from anxiety more than ever? The hormones, like Dr. Bobby Price was saying how when he was younger, and we're around the same age, when he was younger, and I remember this too, because I ate meat when I was little, buffalo wings and stuff, they were small. They weren't like huge. Now you could get a wing and the wing is like this big. They're pumping the animals up with hormones, and then it messes with us. And then even when we think about, and then, we're worrying about, well, why am I always fatigued? Why do I feel like I have brain fog? Why am I always getting a headache? Why am I always, bloated? Why am I having breakouts? Why am I having, just all these like things? Well, those, if you're asking yourself these questions all the time, why is my sleep off? Why? You got to really like look at the root of these things, and it's time to make a change. And I think that collectively, as a whole human race, I think that we're really realizing that we have gone completely left when it comes to the food, especially in America. There's certain things that are completely banned in other countries. And it's weird. I said this in another video of mine. I went to Belize. I went to China. I went to Egypt. I lost weight. I looked like I had like went on a refresher. You know what I mean? Like I looked like I had went on a cleanse. Something about the food in America, the oils, do not cook with canola oil. Please do not cook with canola oil. The oils, like the friedness, there's something off, and Americans really do need to wake up. And it's not a generational thing, or you have bad genes or anything like that. My mom is a perfect example of that. People had diabetes, high blood pressure, thyroid issues, cancer, dementia. My mom has already beat the odds. My mom doesn't have not one medication. She does not have cancer. Her dad, my grandfather, passed away at the age of 62 from cancer. My great grandmother, which is my mom's grandmother, which is my grandfather's mom, okay, died at 62 from cancer. So her dad died from 62 at cancer, and her grandma died from 62 at cancer. My mom is now headed for 64 in a couple months. Completely, she just, she does her yearly checkups, completely clean from anything like that in her body. My mom already has been starting on a health journey for 10 years now. And every year she gets better and better and better and peels back layers and makes better decisions. She's already beat it. My mom my grandmother was taking thyroid medication for years. My mom does not take any medications at all. She doesn't take one medication, and she's in her mid 60s now. It's not genetic. It's not. It's lifestyle choices. And I think that we have to wake up to that. And I think that even when I was with the women that were in their late 60s, 70s, I could tell that they were very health conscious. It didn't matter about like necessarily the looks. It was, they were sharp in the brain, right? Sharp in the brain. And, when I was really talking to them, it's like they are very, very serious about their health, because how are you going to run a multi-million-dollar business, or how are you going to be the mayor, right? How are you going to run a foundation when you don't have it? Your cognitive health is off. Your blood pressure's off, right? So we got to start waking up, and we have to thank our ancestors for eating bad, because they had to survive. They had a different journey than we did. We're living in the luxury time period because of them. So they had to eat the bad stuff. They had to go through all those things, all the migrating and the building of communities and the healing. And we're still healing as well. But now it's our turn to like go to the next tier, right? It's our turn to elevate. It's our turn to get financially intelligent, financially, educated. It's our turn to get nutrition educated. It's our turn to take what they built and then like bring it to the top floor now. So that's what I wanted you guys to take away from, what I'm talking about today. Make sure to subscribe to my email list. I have it linked. I'm going to have it linked down below. And I want to stay connected with you guys. I want to be able to email you guys and not worry about the algorithm, and just say, hey guys, I'm going to pop on live later today. Tap in with me, just be aware. And, I just want to be directly, connected to you. So just make sure to sign up with my email subscription. And as a email, or as a gift and a thank you, you automatically get entered into winning one of these headsets that I'm always talking about and showing in my videos. All right. Have a beautiful rest of your day, everyone. I don't think I had any comments or anything like that today. Hi, Sarah. How are you? So I'm going to go ahead and go. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Make sure to subscribe.